Hello, my gorgeous ladies, and welcome to an episode for Lingerie and Lattes. My name is Olivia Dramaga, and I founded Vulcanability back in 2020 as a way for women to really reconnect to their bodies and create monogamous, intimate relationships to the man of their dreams. And the reason I created this is because I found a lot of tips and supposed advice for women to be lacking in terms of creating sustainable relationships that are based on an open heart, honesty, and integrity. So, learning on my own and kind of creating my own philosophies around what love should be, I developed the vulcanability methods, which is essentially taking all of the emotions a woman can feel during her experience with someone and channeling that for the better of herself and her consciousness. For today, I was actually speaking to a good friend of mine yesterday, and I noticed how we don't talk about this idea of celebrating ourselves as much as I think is important for a woman's wealth and her all overall vitality. So, this concept of celebrating yourself, there's a sort of negative connotation or misinterpretation of it. Many people think that a celebration of yourself has to involve a lot of money or it has to involve some sort of achievement in order for you to actually do so. But my philosophy is really more about nurturing yourself for all the progress you already have done. And a celebration of the self really calms down the mind and it helps you be more grounded and fully present with yourself and your surroundings and whoever you are with. So, how does this work and how can we actually start implementing this? So, the actual activities you might do, it really depends on what you want to do and who you are. A day of celebrating myself might look like one, spending time in solitude, finding a very slow morning, perhaps doing a little bit of movement in the morning that is releasing emotions and releasing any sort of stagnant energy from my body. So that might look something like a yin yoga practice or a slow meditative walk in nature. And then allowing the day to really unfold is how I enjoy celebrating myself because so many parts of my life are rushed or they have to be done at a specific time and in a specific manner. Everything is sort of out of my control, or so it feels that way. So when I like to celebrate myself, I really like to carve out time that I can leisurely do activities that feed myself at my own pace. So let's say I do start off my day with a nice relaxed morning in bed. Perhaps there's a little bit of a self massage involved, and then going into yoni egg practice, moving into more of a slight movement, doing a walk, going out into nature. Before that used to be a lot more of Central Park. Anything that really gets the sun on my skin makes me feel absolutely amazing. And then perhaps there could be a leisurely sipping on a drink of some sort and some appetizers in a nice restaurant, like just allowing myself to really feel luxurious and weighted on hand and foot is how I like to experience the celebration of myself. So I've mentioned it doesn't have to be too much finances involved. So let's switch that around a little bit. Some days might look like anything from doing a little practice at home to walking in nature and then ending up on, let's say, a bench and doing some journaling and then coming home to a nourishing meal or a nice salad or smoothie that I've made for myself. So the logistics and the actual activities are all dependent on you and your access to certain resources. But let's discuss more the subject of actually celebration of the self. We need to honor our temples and honor who we are in this moment for us to actually receive more from the universe. If the more we are striving and the more we are forcing ourselves to do more in order to gain more, we're never really settling into everything we've already received. So celebration of the self is really just about having time to remind yourself that you've already gained so much from the universe and so much from your own desires and how you've already fulfilled a numerous desires for yourself, and it puts you into a more relaxed state. So a more relaxed state, I did an Instagram post about this past week. If you're not following me, you should probably check it out on my Instagram. It's called The Priestess Flame. So the more we're able to relax and be in a more receptive state, the calmer we are towards stressful situations, the more we're connected to other people because we don't have our own clouded mind getting in the way. So as we're going to wrap up this discussion, consider if you've ever really celebrated yourself, and if you have, do you feel like it's been tied to a lot of materialistic activities or purchases? And allow yourself to really explore activities that are not depending on money and that feed your soul, so that you can rely on these practices to continue centering yourself back into your own body. Now, I just want to wrap this up with a affirmation card from the self-initiation deck, which I have used before in the podcast. Like, the sunlight is streaming in, so it's a little difficult to see, but I'm going to read off what we are pulling for today's talk. I welcome grace through listening to the wisdom of my body. I welcome grace through listening to the wisdom of my body. So how can we apply this to the self-celebration? The wisdom of the body comes through when we are in a more relaxed state, which is why I do advocate for all these practices such as yoni, breaths and exercises, breast massage, slowing down, having intentional showers of washing off negative energy from ourselves, because all of these things allow the mind to quiet and to actually listen to our own bodies. And when we do that, when our mind and bodies are synced, we're more receptive to the pleasure that intimacy can bring. So a lot of the times I've noticed women are unable to experience orgasms because their minds are rattling off 1,000 miles a minute, and because they're thinking about everything that has not yet been come to fruition in their lives. So we kill our own pleasure a lot of times. And if we're able to quiet the body and the mind with these practices, and with carving out time for ourselves and really just exploring that luxurious sense of slowing down as if we were these like Roman goddesses and there's absolutely nothing to do or gain in the world except feeling pleasure in ourselves. That's how we start cultivating more safety in the body for us to really experience pleasure when we are in a more intimate situation, either with ourselves in the bedroom or with the partner. On that note, I hope you ladies have an absolutely amazing week. And thank you for tuning in. We will hear each other speak next Sunday. Thank you so much.